This is the dollar CAD on the 240 and I'm involved short in a breakout pattern but with higher time frame confirmation. So 85 pips of risk here for 119. What I'm going to do is delete the information off. We're going to look at this using the higher time frame and why I'm looking for shorting opportunities here. So going out to the dailies, that for quite a period of time we've been in consolidation here. So I'm going to put a structure level on just like this and also like this. And what we see is when we see this effect where we see lower highs, it's typically a sign that we break through the level of supporting structure, which is this one. So we had a test here, 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 here. What happens is, generally speaking, the more times that this lower level is tested, the harder we break through that level of support. So 3 tests here, and on the 4th test we broke through that quite considerably. Now as we zoom in, what I've noticed is that for the past few days we haven't seen a pullback to the structure level. In fact, all we've seen is movement sideways. So I would have expected by now for there to be a pullback and then the continuation to the downside. What we can look for is where we think the next structure level is, and that is right here. This point for me. So we've clearly broken out of this channel to the downside. There is room for the market to come substantially lower. The question is, are we going to go higher before we come lower, or are we just going to continue lower? And as mentioned, this is the 3rd consecutive day now where we've been moving sideways after a very bearish breakthrough of this structure level. So indication to me that if we were going to pull back, we would have done so, and we haven't. So let's drop down a time frame down to the 240, and what I'm noticing here is we've got a fairly directional pole, and then the market has just been moving sideways like. And here I would look for 4 touches. If this was to be a low and tight flag, it would be 1, 2, 3 and 4. And then you would enter in on the close of the following candle like this. Now this doesn't look like my usual low and tight flag, but it does happen, they do appear, should I say, after directional movement. And that is exactly what we've got. We've just violated a major level of structure as well. That's another key component that I look at. One other thing as well, I think it was on the 15. Let me just go down to the 60 though, readjust this. You can see here on the 60 as well, we've got 2 at the bottom and 2 at the top where the structure's been held, and then as we drop down to the 15, we actually have this double top. Now, it may not look like a great deal, but what we tend to see, and I'm just going to leave that structure level there so you can see we have actually held the structure level. This one, and that is a confirmed double top holding the structure level. So within channels, and a low and tight flag is a channel pattern, we do see rotation patterns. So this double top right here has broken and closed below is confirmation to me that this is a channel, and therefore we could very well see a continuation to the downside. If this was a double bottom, I'm just going to go to the 60. If you're thinking this is maybe a head and shoulders, left shoulder and a double bottom, for me it isn't, because look at what we've done. We've come up and held the structure line. One other thing as well is I'm going to put a structure level in there and go out to the 240. We have virtually no structure at all. We've got this and that, and as we look left, there is literally nothing else. That's the take profit area. So for me, this is a continuation to the downside. And what would I be looking for? I'd be looking for a 127 extension as a minimum, which is drawn out on the first test, which is there. And then if we move down and take a look at where our targets come in. Right here, right where that 127 is. So I'm involved short in this trade. It is the weekend, so my stop and targets have been removed, but nevertheless, that's my stop, 85, I think it was. And we're looking for a reward, I think of around 115. Welcome back to the dollar CAD on the 240. And as you can see now, this very large low and tight flag has broken out and did hit those targets there for 124 pips, I believe it was. I think I got involved around here. I did delete the information off by mistake. Yep, around 124 pips on that lovely trade. And just look at that fall that we've had as a result of this breakout. Lovely.